Hey YouTube, today we're going to change the Serpentine belt on the 2009 Lexus RX. Got one on Rock Auto, Continental, it's a good brand name. Paid a couple bucks more because they had two Continentals listed. This was the upgraded one, so might as well do it. The car has 90,000 miles on it. You're supposed to do this belt every 60. I did it at 60,000 miles, but that was a number of years ago. So just as routine maintenance, I'm going to go ahead and put this on at 90,000. I'd rather spend 20 bucks and do it now than break down on the road somewhere. So let's go ahead and pull the hood open. And there's the V6. The belt is right here. So I'll pull this cover off. I'm going to jack the car up, put it on a jack stand, pull this wheel off, and we're going to pull this lower cover off, and this is how we're going to access the belt. So let me go ahead and jack it up, put it on a jack stand, and pull that wheel off. All right, passenger wheel off. Now we need to take these two 10mm bolts off to get this inspection cover off, access panel, whatever you want to call it. All right, with the access panel off, you can see we have access to the belt now. And get a little light there. I'm just looking at the belt, and it has absolutely no dry rot or cracks. The rubber feels soft. It really doesn't need to be replaced, but I'm going to do it anyway. So the next step is to remove this top access panel right here. And if you have the factory clips holding this on, you just push down in that center pin. Right there, and then they pull right off. And then what you do is you pull the pin out when you're putting them back on, put it in, and then you push the pin flush. So let's go ahead and get this off. All right, I drew a diagram of how the belt gets routed, because once it's off, I probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. Each one of these is a pulley. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pulleys. And this is how it all goes. And this one right here is the tensioner pulley with a 14mm nut on it, or bolt head, and you turn it counterclockwise and it releases the tension. I've also taken pictures of all this. So I've got a socket bar on that pulley, and you'll just see, if I can get my fingers out of the way, that, let's see if we can get a better camera angle here. That if I pull on the wrench, it loosens the belt and you can slide it off. I'm going to need two hands to do that, but just watch your fingers. I'm going to pull the belt off camera. All right, it came right off. I pulled it off of the tensioner pulley, and then it just slipped right off everywhere else. Again, this is the old one, and it shows no signs of wear, no dry cracking anywhere. It's about 4 or 5 years old. It has 30,000 miles on it. Here's the new one. Really can't tell any difference. We'll go ahead and put the new one on. And when I did this 30,000 miles ago, I did put a new tensioner on. Since this one only has 30,000 miles on, I'm not putting a new tensioner on, but this would be a good time to put the tensioner pulley on as well as preventative maintenance. So I'm gonna go slip this on, weave it through. Hey, for what it's worth, the one I'm taking off was a Daco, which I also got on Rock Auto. Poly rib, and there's the part number for it. So, you know, it shows no signs of wear whatsoever. And here's the new Continental that I'm putting on. All right, only took a minute to get the belt back on. I followed my pattern right there. And the last thing I did was put it around the tensioner, which I couldn't do until I put the wrench on the bolt, swung the wrench to pull the tensioner down, slipped the belt up over the tensioner, and then I made sure that everywhere there was a, you know, the grooved part of the belt was actually in the pulley everywhere. And I think before I button this thing up, I'll start the engine just to make sure everything's okay. All right, start. Good. Only thing left, I put this cover back on, put this access panel back, put the wheel back, jack it down, and we're done. All right, job done. And took about 45 minutes. That was with filming, so it's probably a 30-minute job. And I'm not a professional. Just a weekend mechanic, so not too bad. Anyway, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.